Today, we are spilling the tea with the Jamie Pelton Group, and today we have a special guest, Tiara Lukabaugh. She works with Hammonds & Coase and is a title agent. Now, Tiara, could you give us a little rundown of the process of what you do once you get a fully executed contract?
So the first thing we do whenever we get the signed agreement of sale from you guys is we're going to order everything that's going to tell us everything we need to know about the property. So that's going to be the title search, tax certs, and the lien letters. Once those come back, that's when we start to analyze them. The title search specifically is going to tell us if there's anything on that property that we need to worry about that's going to become a problem for your buyer later. So title search specifically is going to tell us a lot of information that we need to know. So think unpaid mortgages. Are there any liens on the property? Any judgments that need to be paid off? Because those are things that people might not know, but they can follow the buyer with the property. So we need to make sure those are taken care of before closing.
So even previous to them, the buyers prior to them, it could have fallen on them.
Absolutely. Okay. So something may have happened while the current seller had ownership of the property, or even a prior owner before that wasn't caught during that transaction. And then we have the tax certs because we want to make sure that all the taxes are paid up. Those are things that attach to the property. So we want to make sure those are paid down to zero, prorated right down to the day, so that the new buyer basically gets to start with a clean slate and they don't have to worry about any of those things following them. Once title's cleared and we're sure that everything's going to be taken care of at the transfer of the property, that's when we start the fun stuff. So if you're using a lender to obtain a mortgage, your lender is going to send us a closing disclosure with their fees and the numbers they have, and we are going to compare it to what we found, such taxes, any of our fees, until we agree on a final number, which we call the cash to close, which is the amount of money that you have to bring to the closing table in order to close on the property. So then the best part is next. So especially as a buyer or a seller, the closing is what happens next. So we schedule that with your agents if you're working with one like yourself. And then we all meet. So you're going to have the buyer, the seller, sometimes your agents, and me from the title company, a representative there, that will go through all the paperwork with you, make sure that you understand everything that's going on, all of the numbers and all of the details. And then once everything is signed and everyone signs that deed, that's a wrap. You're a new homeowner.
So I have another question for you. In Western Pennsylvania, we have a lot of mobile homes that are different than regular homes in title. So can you give us a down low, whether it's on a foundation, whether it's still on its wheels? How does that work?
So yeah, there definitely is a difference between a mobile home or manufactured home and what you consider regular real estate. And that's because if the title is not retired, so if you have the physical vehicle title in your hand and you could hand it to me, that title is not retired. Therefore, that mobile home is still a vehicle and personal property and not considered real property at that time. If you still have the title, it's okay. It's not a deal breaker. We just have to make sure that gets retired first. You'll sign an affidavit of affixation, and you will remove the wheels and axles, and it has to be staying there and it can't be going anywhere. It's not a vehicle anymore. If that's already done, then it's a lot easier. We kind of skip that process and we can just get to balancing out numbers, making sure taxes and transfer taxes are taken care of, and we can get you closed on that rather quickly, barring any, hiccups or you can't find the title, which is another story for another day.
Yes.
Tiara, now, do you have any tea to spill?
I do have some tea to spill. Do you remember, not this current winter, but last winter, we were going to a closing up north, and of course it's right after an ice storm, and we're going there, and it's total ice. And so we get to the property, and it actually is uphill both ways, a sheet of ice going up, going down, and the entire lot, like parking lot. So we get in there, we do the closing. It's wonderful, young first-time home buyers, fantastic, the lovely part of the job. And then sliding on our ways back to the car, and Jamie knows that I'm having issues here. She knows I get anxiety about this stuff. So she tells me, pull out first. That way, if you slide going down the hill, you just run into me.
And I'll stop you.
You'll stop me, yes. That was the funniest thing. I was not anxious anymore. I was dying laughing after that.
Yeah.
And that's how you know you have a good relationship with your title.
Yeah, just run into me.
Just
I'll
run into me. I'll save you.
Thank you so much, Tiara, for joining us today and giving us a little information about title work, because that's something scary that people don't understand what title does.
Yes.
So we did spill the tea on that a little bit, plus a little extra.
Yes.
So thanks, guys, for coming in, and we'll talk to you again soon.